We are in a situation in which Donald Trump's United States are implementing their imperialist projects, all with the assent of the European Union, an EU which, under the leadership of Ursula von der Leyen, gives the impression that it is serving them. The European Union has become Donald Trump's doormat. The problem is that this servility serves the law of the strongest. When the European Union says nothing about the kidnapping of Maduro, when the European Union says nothing about the threats hanging over Greenland, when the European Union signs with great fanfare an absolutely illegal customs agreement last summer, then, in the end, we should not be surprised that Trump continues to humiliate us while the European Union continues to turn the other cheek. We need to return to reality. The United States has become one of the greatest threats to stability and peace. And contrary to what Roberta Metsola said just yesterday at the opening of the plenary session, the United States is no longer an ally but a hostile country. And against a hostile country, a number of retaliatory measures must be implemented, starting with the anti-coercion instrument, the activation of which we have been demanding for many months. On the other hand, the Israeli government can still, without any concern, access the European Parliament while it is committing a genocide. Yes, the European Union is trying to sweep the issue under the carpet because there has been a ceasefire. But is it really a ceasefire when a child dies every single day? Is it really a ceasefire when 37 humanitarian NGOs are denied access to the Gaza Strip? Is it really a ceasefire when the buildings of UNRWA, the United Nations Agency for the Occupied Palestinian Territories, in Jerusalem are destroyed by the Israeli government? Is this really a ceasefire? The reality is that, quietly, the Israeli government continues to massacre an entire people amid the ignorance, powerlessness and complicity of the European Union. And once again this week, there will be no resolution to condemn this genocidal regime. This double standard in the application of international law remains unbearable for us. I will say one final word about the free trade agreement with Mercosur. As we speak, massive mobilizations are taking place at the gates of the European Parliament to force this Parliament to face reality. This free trade agreement is the widest and the largest free trade agreement ever signed by the European Union. It will expose farmers to unfair competition. It will destroy the environment. It will destroy our health, with 1/3 of the pesticides authorized in Brazil being banned in the European Union. And what do we call a system in which such a vast and important free trade agreement can be implemented without a single vote by any parliamentarian? In any case, I do not call that democracy.
It has gained a completely new momentum after Donald Trump politically entangled it with the Greenland issue, with the imperial ambitions that the United States has repeatedly and very openly articulated there, going as far as threatening the open use of military force to take over Greenland. And my parliamentary group has said from the very beginning that this was a miserable, bad deal, which should never have been concluded in the first place. Ursula von der Leyen had no mandate for this either. At present, measures must be introduced, especially given that the OECD deal on the international taxation of digital companies was formally concluded, yet American companies were exempted. This is completely absurd. What was negotiated there? Thirdly, I also believe that we must work to ensure that the European Union makes it clear that we will not buy this dirty US fracking gas, and that we instead focus on energy independence. All of this must now be clearly stated by the Union in response to the blackmail by Donald Trump's administration. We will not allow ourselves to be blackmailed. We are striving for strategic independence, but we also want the European Union to be capable of defending both its jobs and its industries, above all against these attacks, this trade war being waged by Donald Trump's right-wing government.